Yeah. Uh, Good morning, everyone. We'll continue our lectures and lecture series on data structures. In the last class, we have seen what is stack, and we have seen some of the applications of stacks like symbol balancing, recursive call implementation. Okay. In today's class, we are going to see a few more applications of the stacks. Then, if time permits, then we'll move on to the next concept, that is queues data structure. Okay. So let us continue with the applications of the stacks. Okay. So in today's class, we are going to see a few more applications of the stacks. As you recall, if you recall, stack is a linear data structure. Okay. Uh, which allows the elements, insertion of the elements or the deletion of the elements from only one end. The bottom end is closed. That's why it is often called as LIFO, last in first out. Okay. So one application of the stack is it is exclusively used for symbol balancing. Symbol balancing is the process of verifying the structure of the programs. Generally, we'll write our C programs now. All the C programs are enclosed by, they're enclosed in some parentheses, or we'll be using some brackets or something like that. So whenever you use a open parenthesis, there should be a counter closing parenthesis like that. Okay. So if you want to check such kind of things, okay, the same number of symbols, some number of symbols followed by the same number of counter symbols. Okay. So such things can be done through the uh, uh, stacks. Okay, so that we have seen already in the last lecture. So in today's lecture, what we are going to do here is we are going to see uh, another application called evolution of postfix expressions. Evolution of postfix expressions. So this can be done through stacks. Okay, so before going to see how to evaluate postfix expressions, let us give me a brief overview of what is postfix expression. Okay, so actually there are three types of expressions. Okay, let me write here: infix, prefix, and postfix. Okay, usually whenever we write arithmetic expressions, okay, in computer science, generally we will follow any one of these formats: infix, prefix, or postfix. Okay, so in infix, what happens is the operator comes in between the operands. So suppose if you take a binary operation like operator like plus, okay, the operator comes in between the operands, say a plus b, a plus b. Okay, now look at the position of plus here. Okay, plus is the operator, okay, which performs the addition operation. It comes in between the two operands a and b. Okay, a plus b. So this is what we call infix. Okay, right? So when comes to prefix notation, in prefix, as the name implies, pre means what? Prior to the operands. That means plus comes first. I mean the operator comes first, followed by the operands. Plus followed by AB. Plus followed by AB. Okay. The reverse for prefix is postfix. In postfix, the operands comes first, followed by the operator. Okay, so a is the first operand, b is the second operand, followed by the operator, that is plus. Okay, so these are the three ways in which we can write expressions in computer science. But the more native way for us the human beings, we follow infix expressions. Okay, while writing our programs, generally we'll follow this infix notation. But for evaluating, okay, For our understanding, we'll write our expressions in a plus b format, but while evaluating, they must be converted into postfix. Okay, so there is an operational convenience when you convert an infix expression into postfix form. Okay, it takes much less time when compared to evaluating infix expressions. Okay, I will give you a small example so that it will be more clear to you. So let us consider this expression. Let us consider this a small infix expression 2 plus 3 into 5. Okay, right? So as you can see here, this is written in infix format. Okay, 2 plus 3, every two operands, between every two operands we have inserted one operator. Between 2 and 3 we have plus, between 3 and 5 we have asterisk or the multiplication operator. Okay, so these type of statements are said to be infix. Okay, as I told earlier, this type of expressions or statements are said to be infix expressions. Now if you look at the statement, this arithmetic expression, actually, it is a problematic statement, I can say. It is something called ambiguous statement. Why? Because it has two values. If you interpret this expression, there is a chance of getting two different results or two different values. It can be interpreted in two different ways. Like if you add 2 plus 3 first, you will get 5. 5 into 5, you will get 25. After evolution, you will get 25. Okay. The other way, first you will perform this 3 into 5, that is 15. 15 plus 2, you will get 17. Okay, right? So what I mean to say here is the same expression is evaluated in two different ways. Okay, so in fact we are getting two different values. Okay, two different values for the same expression. Okay, so such expressions are said to be ambiguous statements. Okay, we don't know whether we have to consider this value or this value. Okay, right? So in order to resolve this confliction, okay, whether we have to go for, whether we have to take 25 or 17, generally we follow certain rules. Okay, so those rules are said to be precedence rules. Okay, are the priority rules. Grouping and priority generally we use. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll convert this statement 2 plus 3 into 5 like this. 3 into 5. Okay, we'll group by using these parentheses. Okay, and we'll supply some precedence rules. The precedence rule states that whenever you have multiple operators in the expression, the operator which is having higher precedence, okay, highest precedence will perform first, then the lowest precedence. Okay, so according to the precedence rules, the asterisk and the division operations, they are the highest precedence operators. Plus and minus are the lowest precedence operators. Okay, I'm just talking about these arithmetic operators. Okay, there are so many operators. So if you want, you can look at the C, any standard C book. There you can find the operator precedence. Okay, so as far as our example is concerned, star is having highest precedence than plus. Okay, if that is the case, then this will be performed first. 3 into 5, that is 15, will be performed first. Then the addition will take place. Okay, that is 15 is added to 2. So ultimately we are getting 17. Okay, so that means as for this rule, okay, if you apply these rules and these precedence operators or the precedence rules, this is going to be the right answer. Okay, so that means you have to ignore this one, this interpretation of the expression. Okay, so for our convenience, we are writing expressions in infix form. Okay, so if you write infix form, if you are if you would like to use infix notations, you have to take care of this grouping and operator precedence and all other kind of stuff. Okay, to get the proper values. Okay, to get the evolution order. One more problem with the infix expression is, say suppose, let us consider 2 plus 3 minus 5. Okay, here if you observe here, the expression involves two different operators, but these two different operators are having the same precedence, equal precedence operators. Okay, if that is the case, which one we have to perform first? Whether we have to perform 3 minus 5 first or 2 plus 3 first? Again, it is a big question. Okay, right? Again, this is also leads to ambiguity. So to resolve this ambiguity, we'll apply some rules called associativity rules. Okay, associativity rules. Okay, usually these associative rules, generally we have left associative and right associative. Okay, if a particular symbol is left associative, then what we'll do is from left we will evaluate. Okay, that means plus and minus are left associative. So if that is the case, first we will perform 2 plus 3, then we will perform 3 minus 5. Okay, 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 minus 5, you will get 0. Okay. Right? You got my point? It's pretty simple thing. Okay. So there is a problem with the infix expressions. If you want to evaluate them, you have to consider so many things. You have to remove ambiguity. How to remove ambiguity from the sentences? You have to incorporate associative rules, you have to incorporate precedence rules, and you have to use grouping mechanism. Okay, you have to use parentheses. Okay, parentheses are usually, they are the highest precedence operators. Okay, so whatever there in the grouping operators, that will be performed first. Okay, right? So that is the problem with the infix expressions, but it is very difficult for us to understand or interpret the prefix or the postfix expressions. Okay, so by looking at the prefix expression like 2, 3, so here you can see, here is an example for postfix expression: 6, 5, 2, 3 plus 8 star plus 3 plus star. Okay, is it make sense? Okay, it is quite difficult. Perhaps it is difficult for us to understand whether I mean, what is this statement. If you don't know the postfix expression, then you might be confused by looking at this. Okay, so for our understanding we'll be using infix expressions, but there is a lot of computation overhead when you use infix expressions. So what happens is, internally these expressions, I mean the infix expressions, are converted into postfix form. After conversion they will be evaluated. Okay, the postfix evaluation is much quicker than the infix evaluation. Okay, so that is where the stacks comes into picture. Okay, you can use stacks for postfix evaluation. Okay, in postfix expressions, the beauty of the postfix expression is there is no need of associativity rules, there is no need of precedence rules, there is no need of grouping. Okay, so everything, I mean the evaluation can be easily done by using postfix evaluation. So let me take you let me tell you a small let me take you this simple example, and let me show you how it happens with the help of stack. Okay, let us consider this infix expression. Okay, arithmetic infix expression: 4.99 into 1.06 plus, we are doing some computation here. Okay, so there are 4 operators, I mean two occurrences of plus and 2 occurrences of multiplication sign, right? So in postfix form, postfix is nothing but the operands comes first, followed by the operand, like A, B, followed by the operator. Okay, so this is what we call postfix. Okay, the operator is applied on its preceding 2 operands. Okay, that means if there is a infix expression A plus B, then its corresponding postfix expression is AB plus AB plus. Okay, operator comes after the operands, right? I hope you understand the notations. Okay, so with this assumption, I mean with this concept, I mean briefing, so let me move on to this postfix evaluation, right? So this is the example that we are taking. So this is the given infix expression. Okay, Now let us see how to convert this into, how to evaluate this expression by using stacks. Okay. So this is one of the important applications of stacks, postfix evaluation. So let me narrate you how to do this. Okay. So let us consider a stack. Okay. Initially the stack is empty. Okay. There are no elements in the stack. Initially your stack pointer, I mean the top of the stack pointer, the top of the stack index variable, it points to the bottom of the stack. Okay, since there are no elements. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll read the infix expression. Okay, letter by letter or the number by number. Okay, component by component. Like, so the first component here is the 4.99. Okay, we'll read that number. Okay, operand. Right, so as and when you read an operand, okay, you push it onto the stack. 4.99. Okay, now you have an operator. No, the next input is an operator. Okay, whenever you get an operator, so you keep that operator in an array, in output array, say like this. So in the first index we are storing asterisk. Okay, so next we have this 1.06. Okay, push 1.06 onto the stack. Right, like this. Okay, so let me take this. This is the postfix expression. Okay, this is the postfix expression corresponding to this infix. Okay, so if you look at the postfix here, 4.99 followed by 1.06 followed by asterisk followed by 5.99 followed by plus followed by 6.99 followed by 1.06 followed by two other operators, asterisk followed by plus. Okay, now our intention is we want to evaluate this. What is the value of this expression? Okay, so we are going to use a stack for evaluating this expression, this postfix form. Okay, now this is the procedure. Use stack to evaluate postfix expressions. When a number is seen, push it onto the stack. Okay, since the first one is a number 4.99, insert that onto the stack 4.99. Okay, and the next input that we have is 1.06. Since it is a number is seen, it is pushed onto the stack. Okay, so the number is 1.06. Insert it onto the stack. Now repeat the process. When an operator is seen, the next step. Okay, so now the next input is operator, asterisk. So whenever you see an operator in the input, what you have to do, the operator is applied to the top two numbers that are popped from the stack. The result is pushed back onto the stack. Okay, whenever you see an operator on the expression in the input, what you have to do, you have to pop off top two operands from the stack. The top two operands are 1.06 and 4.99. Okay, you have to perform 1.06 into 4.99. Okay, you will get some result, no, partial result. After performing this operation, you will get some partial result. No, let me name it as partial result 1. Okay, so that partial result you have to push it back onto the stack. Okay, PR1. Okay, remove 1.06 and 4.99 and insert the result back into the, after performing the ASIC operation, insert the results back into the stack. Now the next input symbol is 5.99. Okay, 5.99. Insert that onto the stack since it is a number. Okay, now the next input symbol is plus. Now what you have to do, whenever you see an operator, pop off the top two symbols. The the top two symbols from the stack. Now the top two symbols are the partial result of the first operation, that is PR1, and you have to perform PR1 plus 5.9, 5.99. Okay, so you will get some result now. After performing this operation, you will get some result. Let me consider this as partial result 2. Okay, now you have to insert that result back into the stack, PR2, PR2. Okay, so far we have done up to here. Now again we have 6.99, insert 6.99 onto the stack, 6.99. Okay, and next we have 1.66, 1.06, again a number, insert that, 1.06. Okay, yeah, still people are joining. 1.06. Okay, now again we have asterisk. Okay, now what you have to do, you have to pop off top two symbols. The top two symbols are 6.99 and 1.06. Perform the operation multiplication between 6.99 and 1.06. You will get some result now. Let me name it as PR3. Now insert PR3 onto the stack, partial result 3. Okay, now the next input symbol is plus. Okay, now what you have to do, you have to pop off PR2 and PR3. You have to perform the operation between PR2, partial result 2 and partial result 3, and you have to insert the final result, that is PR result, the final result. Okay, so after completely processing the input string, okay, your stack will contain the result, the value of that expression, the value of that expression. Okay, that is how the postfix expressions are evaluated by using stacks. I hope you understand the concept. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can write in the chat box, or you can unmute your mic and you can speak. So another important application of the stacks is infix to postfix conversion. Okay, infix to postfix conversion. Infix, perhaps I didn't prepared. I haven't prepared the slides for this infix to prefix. Sorry, infix to postfix conversion. Okay, so here what we'll do is generally say there is a plus b. I didn't prepare the slides. Okay, that is why I'm just simply explaining here. So most probably in the next class I may show you the presentation again. Okay, let us consider a plus b. Our task is we want to convert this into postfix. Its equivalent postfix form is ab plus. Okay, so how to obtain this? Okay, it's pretty simple. As and when you see an operand, push it onto the stack. Okay, whenever there is an operator, okay, whenever you see an operator in the input, okay, copy that operator into the output, into an array. Okay, let me take it into this array. Okay, whenever you see an operator operand, push it onto the stack. Okay, now we have DA on top of the stack and plus in the output stream, in the output array. Okay, or say operator array, right? Now what we have to do is pop off these AB. Okay, first we have to pop off B, then A, then followed by list out the operator like plus. We have plus now, so this will give you the BA plus. Okay, BA plus. So most probably in the next class, okay, so before going to see Qs and all, I will show you the presentation of this, how to convert infix, a complex infix expression into postfix format. So with the examples, okay, for the time being, this is how we'll convert infix expression into postfix form by using the stack and an array. Okay, right? So another example, another application of stacks is that it is used for function call evolution. Okay, function call evolution. Okay, so what is function? Function is a uh, how you define function? It is something like a self-contained block of code, piece of code that is invoked or are called by the some other function or some other program. Okay, self-contained piece of code that can execute a subtask or something like that. Okay, that is what we call function. Okay, like in C, you'll be having something like this. We'll be having a main function. Okay, the main function can call the other functions. Okay, from the body of the main function, we'll be calling other functions like say a of b, a function a followed by function b followed by say function c. Okay, now if you look at the execution sequence of these functions, okay, main function has called function a, followed by it has again called another function called b. After that it has again called another function called c. Okay, that means the main execution, the control, first it goes from main to a. After completion of a, it will invoke b. Then after completion of b, it goes to c. The execution control, it goes from main to a, then a to b, then b to c. Okay, so that means what I meant to say here is the least recently added, the most recently added component will be executed first. C will be executed first, then B will be executed next, then A, or something like that, if they are nested calls. But here there is no interleave, they are not nested calls. Okay, they are independent calls. Okay, if they are independent calls, they will be traced like this by using a stack. First, whenever you call main function, the things related to main function call will be inserted first onto the stack. Okay, main internet will call a function, no, function a. So on top of the main, we'll have the things corresponding to function call a. On top of it, we'll be having the things corresponding to function call b. On top of it, we'll be having the function calls, the things related to function call c. Okay, now see, the last recently called function is c. Okay, it will be executed first, then b, then a, then finally main. Why? Because main will be executed last. Why? Because the main will call these routines. Okay, whenever these routines executes, then only the main will exit. Otherwise, it will wait until these routines will be performed, until they are completed, until they are finished. Okay, so this is how the function call mechanism is implemented in any programming language by using stacks. Okay, so stack is what it is such an important data structure. If you want to implement recursion, or if you want to implement function call mechanism, if you want to evaluate postfix expressions, if you want to convert postfix into prefix form, or if you want to go for symbol balancing, you need to use stack data structure. Stack data structure. Okay. So that is all about stacks. We are pending with the stack implementation. We have seen the array implementation of stacks, and there is another way of implementing stacks, that is by using linked list. Okay, I'm just postponing that for since we have not discussed the linked list so far. Okay, after completion of the linked list, we'll come back to the implementation of stacks, and then we will see the programs. Okay. So in the next lecture, we are going to see the next data structure, that is queues. Okay. So this meeting will end within a few minutes. Why? Because we have almost reached the time component, that 40 minutes. Okay. I will share you the link again. Please relog in. Okay. Right. Let me close this now.